We'll stream this to Facebook. Make sure we've admitted everybody. All right, can everybody see my screen? Awesome, thank you, Kara. Okay, so I have the chat box open and I'll do my best to answer questions throughout. So thank you so much everyone for joining. I have a program that I've been teaching for 13 years. It has evolved over 13 years as I've evolved and as more information becomes known or, you know, we learn new things. So my program actually started 13 years ago as simply a juicing program and a basic detoxification program. And over time, I found that I had more and more clarity, not only with this program, but in life. And so I call my program really Detox Starts Here, from confusion to clarity. And you'll see my story as we go throughout this of why I focus on confusion to clarity, because I believe that it impacts every area of our life. So this is far more than a diet and detox program. Hopefully you'll see that once we go through these slides. So in owning a wellness spa, I had more than 4,000 clients. And what I always heard as they came in was the latest and greatest diet. Now, I listed here the movements, right? Paleo, keto, Mediterranean, Whole30, gluten-free, low carb, flexitarian. Now there's carnivore, vegan. There's so many different types of diets, right? This isn't even counting what I really heard from my clients, and that was Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, and all the other things that we all try. And I come from a diet family. So I come from a family. My parents did every diet known to man. You know, the Sacred Heart diet, the Pritikin diet, the fruit diet, the cabbage soup diet. I think we did them all. So I grew up with that mentality, and it seemed like I was always dieting as well. And so we're always looking for like the next thing. Well, maybe I need to be Mediterranean. Maybe I need to be paleo. And now we see that there is a huge movement to keto. And my philosophy on that is that the pendulum often has to swing the other way in order to find balance. And so the pendulum swung too far with the grains and the carbohydrates and too much sugar in our food, which came from the low fat movement, that now everyone is discovering that they need to have that healthy fat. And so this keto movement of strict low carb, high fat, I believe is the pendulum going the other way for us to find balance. And my goal is to help people within the boundaries of this 3-month program to kind of see that pendulum swing from here to here so that they can find their balance in the middle. But I see this diet confusion everywhere I go. And throughout my program, I talk about what these different diets are so that you're well versed in them, because you want to be able to have a conversation with somebody. But ultimately, when we end diet confusion, you really find the lifestyle that's right for you. So people ask me what type of diet I follow, and I follow the Lisa diet. So I would say I probably lean paleo, but I'm all of these at different times: paleo, keto, Mediterranean, Whole30, gluten-free, low carb, and I'm a flexitarian. So this isn't about the latest and greatest drink or product. So while I'm not against supplementation, we're really going to discuss 3 steps to losing weight and detoxifying naturally. I have not found a program that is as comprehensive as what I teach. If you want lasting results, it really does take the lifestyle change. We all have that well-meaning friend who has the latest and greatest product or supplement, and I'm all for that. I rep several products. There are some amazing products on the market, but they're never a silver bullet. They absolutely cannot make up for or compensate for poor lifestyle choices. So we have to find the foods that are right for us. And then supplementation on top of that. If you need to take calcium and magnesium and vitamin D, of course, we need to supplement what we're not getting anymore from our food and from our soil. But this isn't about, a pink drink or a yellow drink or a blue drink or a shake. So forget everything that you've been told before, because this has nothing to do with calories. And I know many of you, if you were on the Freedom Kitchen Summit, you know that there's so much more to what's going on with our food, that that old model of calorie in, calorie out is so outdated. Is it true that 3,500 calories is a pound? Yes. But, and so that can help us in some ways if we need to tweak and really look at the volume that we're eating. But ultimately, I have found it comes down to not necessarily how much we're eating, but what we're eating. So I could eat, 1,000 calories a day, but if I had inflammatory foods that don't work for my body, I'm still not going to be in good health. So your only way to sustain health is to listen to your body and follow these 3 steps. So we're going to talk about toxic load, inflammation, and dis-ease. This program is truly about living your best life. It is not necessarily about weight loss. Our weight is a symptom of our health. So when we get healthy, when we reduce inflammation, the weight just comes off. And I wanted to focus this program, I always focus this program on the detoxification and the lifestyle changes, but it seems that many do come to me because they are concerned about weight. So I just want to say that dis-ease means unease in the body, and that includes excess weight. So if you have excess weight, then the excess weight goes when you get healthy. And I always say, just trust the process. This is definitely a process, and you will see weight loss as one of the benefits. So who am I? I'm a health coach. I am a yoga teacher. I've owned a detox spa, did that for about a decade. I've been featured in numerous publications, articles. I've been a guest writer. I've been teaching this since 2009, and I've helped more than 4,000 clients. And since I created this presentation, I'm also certified in a number of things, including AcuDetox. So this is acupuncture of the ear. This is done for detoxification. I'm a Site K facilitator. I'm always learning and growing and incorporating new tactics and practices into this program, which truly just has the mission of setting you free. I wanted to be set free. So this is coming from also, a past smoker. And I think I have someplace in here my pictures. We'll get to my pictures. But I was very unhealthy. So when people look at me and they say, Lisa, you don't understand, I go, no, I do understand. So we're going to talk about some of those other factors and things that we need to take into consideration. So what is a toxin? If you've been listening to the Freedom Kitchen Summit, the first speaker I had every single day was talking about detoxification and where all the toxins are. The toxins in our household products, our skincare products, and our food. It is so unfortunate that so many chemicals and toxins have made it into our food supply, which is probably my driving force you know, for doing this summit, because I look at the kids now. I've been teaching middle-aged people my age for 13 years, but I've been teaching kids now. And the most unfortunate thing is they're eating what we feed them. And so we have to
What?
be aware. Oh, we need to mute somebody here. Mute. Who else do I need? Okay. So we need to become aware of where those toxins are. While we're talking about toxins, so toxins can come from our food, our water, it's chemicals that's used either on the food or in the finished product. But I want to talk about the toxins that are added as well to our skincare products, our household cleaners, our household fresheners. So our skin is our largest organ. And if your skin is your largest organ, this organ can absorb. So we know if we put hormone replacement cream or a nicotine replacement patch or Asper cream on our skin, it goes directly into our bloodstream. It bypasses the digestive system. It has a direct pass right into the bloodstream and can be circulated throughout the body. So we have to become aware of any chemical or poison that is known to be harmful to the body, and we need to remove it from our life. And it's quite a lengthy list. It's over 80,000 chemicals. And the average is that we use about 400 chemicals every day before our first cup of coffee. So if we look at our body wash, our shower gel, our shampoo, our conditioner, our makeup, the average is about 400 chemicals before you've had your first coffee in the morning. And then we wonder why we get the 3 p.m. slump, right? So what are the signs of toxic overload? Well, weight gain is one of them. Food allergies. We all know someone now with food allergies. Anxiety, depression. I mean, we've watched that on the rise as well. Throughout my entire generation, we continue to see a rise in anxiety and depression. Belly bloat, IBS, constipation, low energy, low stamina, mood swings, edema, bloating. That was a big problem for me. Poor sleep, hormone imbalances, and candida, which is yeast and fungus. And that is just now more recently being talked about or diagnosed and addressed. And I would say still a very small percentage of people who have candida are actually aware of it and it's being addressed. I believe it affects far more people because it is fed by sugar and carbohydrates, and we live on a diet of whole grains in the Western world. We don't have a lot of whole grains here in the United States, so that's a misnomer what people are eating. So we'll get to that as well. So these are all signs of toxic overload. I have a really good study that was done on fluoride poisoning, and fluoride poisoning can actually be misdiagnosed as hypothyroidism. So a lot of things that are maybe being misdiagnosed as a disease is really a sign of toxicity. Okay, so that could be too much fluoride, too much chlorine in the body, lack of iodine, too much bromine. These are all things that we talk about because we have to work with our body to clean our body up. So how is toxicity linked to our food? Well, I think most of you know at this point that, I give this presentation, just so you know, I give this presentation to nurses and social workers. I'm accredited. They get continuing education credit for this 1-hour lecture. And they do not know what glyphosate is. They do not know how many chemicals are being used on our food. They do not know what the dirty dozen is or the clean 15. And so I really had to go back to a lot of basics in my presentation because I found so many people really did not understand. And that's another reason why I wanted to have the summit, so that you could hear it from a lot of intelligent people about what is really happening with our food supply. And in the future, I want to have people on like Dr. Vandana Shiva and Dr. Zach Bush, so we can really get to the seed and the soil of the matter. But what's happening is we have a lot of chemicals being used in our food, and I'm going to give you some examples. We all know of glyphosate. So glyphosate is Roundup, and glyphosate is being sprayed as not only a weed killer, but it was genetically modified into the seeds. So they decided to put Roundup in the seed. I kind of liken it to like a vaccine. They put glyphosate in the seed to make it Roundup ready. They said if they put glyphosate in the seed, then glyphosate wouldn't kill the actual product. It would just kill the weeds. That has not proven to be true. This was intended to, they said, to increase crop yield. But let me tell you what glyphosate is. Glyphosate is an antibiotic. So it's killing all of the good bacteria in our gut because it's in all of our food. But other things that are being used in our food, like bromine, if we look at flour products, iodine, my cat always loves to join my Zoom calls. So now he's distracted me. So we have glyphosate and then we have bromine. Okay, so iodine used to be used as an anti-caking agent, and that was switched to bromine. So bromine is used to clean your hot tub. And so if you've ever went into a hot tub and the chemicals from the hot tub like literally burn your eyes or burn the back of your throat, that's bromine. And that is now used as an anti-caking agent in flour. Well, that bromine will actually attach to all of the iodine receptors. Every cell in your body has an iodine receptor, and that iodine receptor will pick up the bromine, which then makes you iodine deficient. So now we have more of the thyroid issues. That throws everything off. So now that disrupts every system in the body, really. But that lowers our IQ. So when we go back and we look at fluoride being put in the water, which we know fluoride calcifies the pineal gland, and fluoride really only helps our oral health, our teeth, when applied directly to our teeth. Drinking it in our water does not improve the health of our teeth. So the fluoride in the water calcifies the pineal gland, and then we have the bromine in flour products, which lowers our IQ. And this all started to make me think like maybe there was a reason why all these chemicals were being put in our food. Maybe the same reason, if you heard the summit, Dr. Palevsky, he's a pediatrician. And he said when he started med school in his very first semester, they told them food has nothing to do with health. So don't even look there, which naturally made him go look there. But it does make someone wonder. Okay, other toxicity in our food. There's also something called ADA, which is a plasticizer, and that is used to extend shelf life and give us nice squishy flour and baked products. So there are so many chemicals. Over 80,000. I mean, when I first started studying this, Nina Baker, an investigative journalist, was at 84,000 registered chemicals. That's the ones known in use in the United States. And we have more than any other country, which I would challenge everyone to think about that too. Like, why would Canada and United States be targeted with more chemicals? So we have to look at our food if we want to reduce toxicity. There's just no way around it. So I wanted to teach people how to clean up their body. I never wanted to teach food or diet or nutrition, but we really can't detoxify without addressing what's coming in our food. Okay, and then, there is the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So if finances are an issue, only buy organic if it's Dirty Dozen. And I will say, if it's on the Dirty Dozen list, I will not eat it if I can't get it organic. Because if it's on the Dirty Dozen list and it has that many chemicals, then I will just avoid it if I can't get organic. Anything on the Clean 15, avocados, bananas, I typically do not spend the extra money to get organic. I don't feel it's necessary. But what are some of the other reasons that we get out of balance and cause disease? And this is all part of detoxification, right? So over the 3 months in my program, we address all of these different aspects. We talk about the chemicals in our skincare products, our household cleaners, any of our supplements, and are our supplements really necessary? And anyone coming into my program who's on prescription drugs often works very closely with their medical professional to see if they can get off of those. But there's other components that we often don't think about when it comes to detoxification, like emotional issues. Emotional issues and stress are two big ones that I want to update the slide and really highlight those, because more and more as I take groups through this 3-month process, I have them journal, and we find a reward and punishment system from childhood where we were rewarded with food or punished with food. And I don't mean like you couldn't eat dinner. An example in my family was whoever had the best report card got to pick where we went out to dinner. Well, that means the one who didn't have the best report card was punished. They didn't get to pick where to go out to dinner. And going out to dinner was a big deal when I was growing up. We didn't go out very often. So it was a big deal. It was often me that got to pick where we went out to eat, and my brother didn't. So you can see where my brother always felt like I was favored because I was through my parents' reward and punishment system. So those types of things we repeat as adults. So it's kind of interesting. I say, and you might have heard it on my interview with Mike Collins from sugaraddiction.com, if I have a good day, then I deserve ice cream. And if I have a bad day, I need ice cream. But see, that's my reward and punishment system. I reward myself and I punish myself, and I use food as like the equalizer. So these are all things that we journal about. We journal about our relationships. We journal about how we feel, because that is what's driving us. It's not what we eat, it's what's eating us. It's such an important part of detoxification. And then stress reduction. And then some of these other things we do cover: heavy metal toxicity, clean water, because hormones and chemicals are found in water, and plastic water bottles just have to go. We're getting the BPA from the plastic, but that plastic is going back into the environment, and we're recycling all of this plastic, and we have to start thinking long-term. Okay, so in my program, we start with the self. We have to put our own oxygen mask on first, and then we can help our family, and then we can help our community, and then we can help Mother Earth. But it really has to happen in that order. So we have to address the liver as well. Toxins, everyone, when I ask, what is your largest organ? People often guess their liver or their lungs. People mostly guess lungs, but it's your skin. And then I say, what is your largest detoxifying organ? And everyone says liver. Well, that's actually your skin as well. Your largest detoxifying organ is your skin, but the primary function of the liver is detoxification. And those water-soluble toxins are eliminated a little bit easier. The fat-soluble ones have to be handled differently. And this is where we see more and more people being diagnosed with fatty liver. 13 years ago, I knew when I started on my detox journey, I knew I wasn't alone. I knew I wasn't the only person with all these food intolerances and allergies and gut issues. And I also knew that we needed to start addressing the liver. We needed to start helping our liver. I did a lot of research on that, and the Gershon therapy is wonderful and really addresses how to cleanse the liver. There's also a liver and gallbladder cleanse that was written by Andreas Moritz. And so there's a number of different methods that we can use to help our liver. What I always caution people, though, is you cannot do something like this in a weekend. You can have the Herx response, which is where you have like the detox flu, and it can just cause more stress on the body. So we need to do this in a logical approach. And it does take 3 months. I've said previously that this program could take as much as 6. I don't think anyone wants to devote 6 months to a program, so I've condensed it into 3. 3 is the absolute bare minimum, and then I have people who will continue on implementing the steps even after the 3 months, and I'll explain that. So the first step, if you were to do this on your own, is you need to detox. So detox does not have to be difficult. It doesn't mean deprivation, and it definitely doesn't mean taking pills and powders. It really means unclogging the pipes. It's a tool that you can do at home. I owned a detox spa. And I used to tell people, you can come to me. There are some things that I can do that you can't do, like a full body mineral body wrap, but everything else I do here, you can do at home. And it really put me on a path of becoming a teacher and a speaker, because I wanted people to be able to do this from the comfort of their own home. So that bullet number 3 is really important. You don't have to spend $300 and go for, multiple spa treatments. You can do this at home. And I really prefer you to do it at home because I want this to become a lifestyle. So this was my spa. Here's some of the articles that I have been featured in. And so it was called the New You Body Wraps and Wellness Center. And I was a contributing writer even for a couple spa magazines. And then I became a trainer and I educated other spas on how to do full body mineral body wraps. And what that does is lymph drainage. So in lieu of doing a full body mineral body wrap, which they are awesome, there are things you can do at home, like dry skin brushing. You can take mineral baths. So we want to unclog those pores and we want to move your lymphatic system, and then you want to get minerals into the body. So you can see the wraps. We're on the doctor's TV show, and I've met Dr. Oz. And there's my picture. This was when I was 36 and 37 years old. So at 36, I was over 200 pounds. I had been a smoker of 21 years. We ate out 7 days a week because of my IT job. And with my IT job, I worked swing shift. So I did midnights often. Network maintenance is always done in the middle of the night. So I was an IT consultant. I was a network operations manager, project manager, and then consultant. And so the hours I kept were pretty brutal. And I walked away from all of that. I decided my health was more important. So I have a 25-year career in IT. But this, in 1 year, I transformed my entire life. And I say I got my life back. So people would tell me where the name, you'll see Glow Natural on some of my slides. People would tell me, oh my God, Lisa, you glow. And I would say, it's from the inside out. I haven't changed anything on the outside. It's from the inside out. You will glow when you get the waste out of your body, when you detox. And so this was originally called Glow Natural. And then the name shifted when I got a kitchen in a cooking school. And it was my students, many of my graduates, who have said that I set them free, or this program set them free. And I don't take credit for any of that. They were ready. But that's where the name Freedom Kitchen came from. I decided, as much as I want to help people glow naturally, I'm also a yoga instructor. So that word glow means namaste, the light in me sees and honors the light in you. But I really, really like the name Freedom Kitchen. If I can set everybody free, and freedom really starts in the kitchen. If we allow ourselves to be poisoned and we allow those toxins and chemicals to come into our kitchen, then they're going to poison the rest of our life. So freedom really does start in the kitchen. Okay, so we need to cleanse your body of toxins that disrupt the endocrine system. You have to learn what foods nourish the body, and you have to support your liver for proper detoxification. Our cells are always being replaced. Like, I was happy to know that, in 7 years after quitting smoking, I had new lungs. You actually do generate enough cells that your lungs are like brand new after 7 years. So it doesn't matter whatever you are dealing with now. I believe that you have the ability to reverse it. And I believe in divine intervention. So when you call in that higher consciousness, you can heal. You can heal from anything. So detox elimination. This is where it is really helpful to have a support group format, because when you see this list and you say, okay, so during my detox, I can't have caffeine, sugar, processed foods, wheat, gluten, alcohol, dairy, cheese. It seems overwhelming. Like, what can I eat? So we're going to really simplify the diet, because this is how we're going to open up the detox pathways. We have to eliminate what does not serve us, so that our body can release all of that. So we're going to eat natural foods, preferably that are in season, hydrate well, including like lemon water. I had a hot lemon water this morning. And then you're going to add some daily detox tools like lymph drainage, That's going to enhance, like dry skin brushing, that will enhance lymphatic drainage, liver detox, and support the detox pathways, so that you can also lose weight. And again, this presentation talks a lot about weight because those are most of the questions I get. But I always say the most amazing things can happen in your body. You just never know. I have one student who told me after 1 month, her A1C had come down 2 points. She was working her way off of metformin. By the end of month 2, she said, my arthritis pain is gone. And it was by the end of month 3, she walked into class and she said, look at my hands, look at my hands. And I said, what am I looking for? And she said, my fingers are straightening. That's just amazing. If you have arthritis to the point that your fingers are not straight anymore and they start to straighten, that's pretty amazing. I have a seamstress who was told just to take Advil the rest of her life because of arthritis. And we were able to find for her, it was nightshades. And now she knows when she eats nightshades, she is going to have pain trying to work the next day. But if she avoids nightshades, she has no joint pain. That is freedom. When you can figure out exactly what your body needs and doesn't need, that is freedom. And the best part about this is this whole process is repeatable because your body changes, but the food is changing too. So, we have no idea what the tomatoes of the future will look like because the tomatoes now are nothing like they were 50 years ago. So it's good to know this process to go through on a regular basis, or anytime you start feeling you need to again. So in the detox phase, we talk a lot about managing insulin levels, resting the digestive system, healing the gut, and then implementing more tools for detoxification. Everything that we're told in mainstream media seems to be backwards or upside down. So this breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Kind of similar to how I started this, right? So fluoride in the water was supposed to be for our teeth, but it doesn't help our teeth. And this, bromine as an anti-caking agent in our flour is not helping our bodies. Well, breakfast isn't necessarily the most important meal of the day. If you have type 2 diabetes or borderline type 2 diabetic, eating more whole grains does not seem to help. That propaganda is pretty astounding to me. I have researched that because I had type 2 diabetes and I've reversed that, but I test my blood sugar. So a glucose meter is literally $20. The strips cost a lot. They're $1 a strip. So I hate buying them. 50 strips is $50. But that's how you know what foods are affecting your insulin levels. And it's that easy. We don't have to wait for our next doctor's appointment. I am all about empowering you being self-empowered and in control. And we don't really want to be dependent on a system that can control, they can withhold those medications. I mean, we need to really think about that. Why in the Western world are all of these medications under lock and key? I could only see that for maybe the addictive ones, or the harmful ones if they got into the wrong hands. But something like metformin, why do they withhold hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin? Those were withheld this past year and could have benefited many people. Why are those things withheld from us? And so they control, you have to go to someone else to get that. And then they control the price as well. So what was it? The EpiPen. The EpiPen a few years ago, they raised the price 1,000%. And it was before Congress and everything of how can you allow those prices to go up like that? And they can. So I believe if the more power you can take back and control your health and have control over your future, the better off you're going to be. So learn to manage your insulin levels. We don't need to go have a doctor's appointment to get a glucose test. We can get a glucose meter. So we're going to learn a lot about managing insulin because this is one area that I have researched so extensively. I have books back to 1888 that fly in the face of everything that we're told today. So how do we do this in my program? We test it. I say, don't believe anything anymore. It's kind of like bowling, and I'm going to put bumpers in the bowling lanes, and we're going to sort of bump up against this methodology and this methodology, and you're going to test some things to see what time of day is best for you to eat, how much is best for you to eat, what do you feel best when you eat, that sort of thing. So a lot in there about insulin levels, because it is definitely, that is the epidemic right there. And it's because of low fat and high sugar and all of the propaganda around whole grains. Okay, I'll move on from that topic. You can tell that topic is very, very important to me, because if we all ate like we were diabetic, we wouldn't have half of the health problems that we have today. But we have to learn to rest the digestive system. Here's more propaganda that we're supposed to eat 3 meals a day, 4 meals a day, 5 meals a day, 6 small meals. We should just graze all day. Then we're never resting the digestive system. So we have to really understand how the body detoxifies and how much energy it takes for that. Because if we're always digesting food, then our body doesn't have the energy to detoxify. We get to heal the gut. We have to take the time to heal the gut and then implement those tools for detoxification. And those have to become like brushing your teeth. Those have to become parts of your lifestyle. So support tools for detoxing. Some of the basic ones that we talk about are skin brushing, rebounding, drinking lemon water. We'll talk about that, which is alkaline, because we have so much acidity, and our standard American diet is very acidic. The use of a sauna, or you can improvise. We just talk about raising the core body temperature to induce an artificial fever, fasting, and then proper food combining. So these are really the basics that we talk about. These are the things that you can literally do every day, thereafter. And then we'll also get into some advanced conversations, which, get a little gross when we start talking about pooping and cleaning things out, but definitely one of those things that we need to talk about. So this is just an easy lemon detox drink. I do make myself fruit or vegetable infused waters. I do a cucumber, mint, lime is my favorite. So you can do just infused water, or I'll juice a lemon, boil some hot water, and I might do hot lemon water in the morning. If you're going to sweeten this with anything, raw local honey, maybe a couple drops of stevia, but I don't, because I already have, I'm already like a sugar addict, recovering sugar addict. So I try not to add any sweetness to anything if I don't have to. Okay, so detoxification is not a one-time event. This is something I heard from thousands of women who came through my spa, and they're like, oh yeah, I did a detox last weekend, or I'm doing a detox, as if it's this one-time event. So if you could only go to the gym once this year, I would say, well, go, because it will benefit you. But I would also caution you, I wouldn't work out too hard, because if your body's not conditioned for it, you're going to be very sore. It's really that same concept. I want you to think about that. How much benefit do you really get from going to the gym once this year? So detoxification is not this one-time event. It becomes part of your lifestyle. So similar to brushing your teeth, these methods need to be incorporated into your lifestyle to help your body. Your body detoxifies itself. There is nothing or no one, there is no product that can detox you. So just want that to sit there for a minute. Your body detoxifies itself. This is a self-healing organism that, when given the right environment, heals itself. We have to give it the right environment. That is your only job. Your only job is to take away what doesn't serve you, what's getting in the way, and then to aid your body. If you had twisted your ankle, you would use crutches, and the crutches can help you to help your body. That's really what these detoxification methods are for. Like dry skin brushing, it's kind of like crutches. our lymphatic system is very sluggish and it's bombarded with all of these chemicals. So like crutches, we use dry skin brushing to help move the lymph, but we're just helping the body do what it does on its own. It moves the lymph, just moves it a little slow. So we're just going to help it along. But I really want that to sink in, because there's a lot of things out there, and I owned a wellness spa. I was very careful about saying, I could not say I had detox treatments, but that I aid the body with detoxification, and that the things that I did aided the body with detoxification, because your body detoxifies itself. Okay, so that was phase 2. And then phase 3 is testing and reintroduction. So in a complete elimination protocol, which is what we do over this 3 months. So we start weeding out the things that are known to be inflammatory. We start introducing replacements for those. We have to have a new lifestyle set up upfront before we start the fasting and cleansing phase, so that when we come off the cleansing and fasting phase, we have a new lifestyle to move into. And as we're reintroducing, as we are reintroducing items during phase 3, I call this mining for gold. So during the 3rd step of the detox process, you are looking for your true north. So, and this is where I feel that every diet and every expert fails. So a lot of experts out there, and there are many of us, so but a lot of people will promote what worked for them, as I did in the beginning. So there's a maturity, I believe, that comes in coaching as well. In the beginning, I was like, well, hey, juicing works for me, so it'll work for you. And dairy doesn't work for me, so you need to take dairy away. And so early on, I will definitely say that everything that was working for me is what I was teaching. And then over time, and it was probably my yoga teacher training and then experience of having more and more students, I realized that everybody is different. Like in yoga, I can literally see it, because if you're, doing Trikonasana and the person next to you is doing Trikonasana, it looks different because every body is different. And I bring those yogic principles into my program. And I realize that everybody is different when it comes to what foods they can eat as well, which is where a true elimination protocol helps you identify what works for you. So I really stopped teaching what was working for me and put together a process that became an experiential process for you to find what works for you. That's what makes this so beautiful, is you're going to mine for gold. So the bumpers are in the lane. So imagine bowling with bumpers, right? So I put the bumpers in and I say, okay, we're going to do this and this, and in this time frame, and you're going to reintroduce one food at a time, and you're going to see how it makes you feel. And you get to decide, oh, nightshades affect my joints. I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that nightshades could affect you, or if it wouldn't affect you. So this process is the only way that I believe that you can find your true north. And what this process does is it gets you back in touch with your body, with your intuition. And that's why I say, once you do this process, you'll never need anyone else again. Of course, if you're like me, you just like to learn from a lot of people. And I've studied a lot of people, read a lot of books. So, and I actually share all of that in my program. I tell you where I get my information. If you want to look further into this, read this person, read this person. A lot of the people that you saw on the Freedom Kitchen Summit, many of them were my teachers, or I have followed their work as well. So I want you to be empowered, though, to realize the answers are within you. And when we get back in touch with our body, we can discern if nightshades are good for us, if grains are good for us, etc. So you may find that you can't have much fruit, like in my case, and there's books out there and teachers out there who say fruit, and more fruit, and I cannot do fruit. So these are things that you need to learn for yourself. Okay, so if you're ready to be free, I'm going to start summing up the program here. Step one, phase one of the program is always to remove toxins, reduce inflammation, and start your detoxification methods. You can't skip that step. And so if you jump into a fast or a diet but you don't do this step, then you're not removing the root cause. So we have to remove the toxins. When I teach to social workers and nurses, they come for continuing education credit. And when I get to detoxification and I start here, they always feel like it's anticlimactic because they're waiting for me to say, like, you have to go have chelation therapy. You need to go, spend thousands of dollars. And no, it's really actually pretty simple. We start with removing what's causing the inflammation and we remove the chemicals. We start implementing some of those mild detoxification methods and we start warming the body up to opening those detox pathways. Then we move into step two or phase two, which in my program is a month long, where we rest the digestive system, introduce relaxation methods, additional detox methods, and we do a gut healing fast. I teach 3 different forms of fasting. And so we cover those. There's Ayurvedic mono diets, there's juice fasting, and then there's bone broth, and they all serve different purposes. And then step 3 or phase 3 is a reintroduction phase where we test every single food group. So roughly each of these phases is about a month. This whole process will take 3 months. And that phase 3, where you're reintroducing, you may not get through every food group. And the only reason why would be when you have a reaction. So if you introduce a food like nightshades and you have a reaction, you could have back pain, joint pain, headache, then you're supposed to rest for 3 days and not introduce another new food for 3 days before you move on to the next food. So in that case, that could take more than that month to get through them. So we address that in the program, that you may be testing things beyond the 3 months, or you may come back and do testing at another point in the future. And that's really the only reason I've had people repeat my program, is because they wanted to spend more time testing and they wanted the support. They wanted the structure. When you're going to be doing any type of fasting, it is better to do it with a group because you have support and a little bit of peer pressure because everybody is doing it. And then, and I think some people just come back through my program for the community aspect of it. So I never ask for testimonials, and I actually keep all of my clients very private. So only the people who have posted out publicly and have told me I could use it are in here. Jackie has lost over 50 pounds. And she had so many health benefits. Her daughter did the program with her, and her daughter lost, I think, 30 in the first 2 months, and ended up pregnant. She got pregnant right after my program, which she was trying. And then Gina is the one who had her A1C go down 2 points. And that was in the first month or 2. Cholesterol went down. That was 2 months time. Yeah. And then it was after 3 months, she was the one with the arthritis. Her fingers were straightening. So the importance of a group program, which I just alluded to, changing your life means changing your environment. We often can't change our habits and patterns until we change who we're surrounded with. And some of you may even know, if you really want to change your life, you sometimes have to change your friends. I stopped going out with my high school friends who were all still drinkers and smokers after I gave up both of those things. It just became really challenging for me to sit through, dinner with them. So you may be changing friends or your environment, but if you want to change your life, you have to make a commitment to change your life. So if you want to do it yourself, it just means you have to overcome the very limitations that have you where you are today. I am not at all opposed to sharing, like, this is the process. I want more people to go out and detoxify, not just for you, but for the greater good, because every person who cleans up their life, has a sphere of influence. We're told we have a sphere of influence of about 250 people, each and every one of us. And so every person that cleans up their life cleans up the life of their family. You set an example for your family, but you're also putting less waste into the earth. So when I teach locally to different groups, I ask them if they could please stop using so many chemicals, because they're not just poisoning themselves, they're poisoning me. I don't want blue tide that smells like rain in my water supply. I don't want the pesticides that my neighbors spray on their bushes. And that's why I planted a raised garden bed 4 feet off the ground, because my neighbors spray so much that I didn't want with rainwater. I didn't want it to end up in my backyard and in my garden. To change our life means changing our environment. And I think once you start down this path and you clean out your body and your mind, you start seeing things from a different perspective. 13 years ago, I wasn't as conscious of the earth and the trees and the bees, and now I am. And, we planted a pollinator garden in our front yard. We took out a very big pine tree, and my husband wanted to put sod. Well, I've taken classes on bees and our food supply, and the biggest killer of bees is actually lawns. The second biggest killer of bees is glyphosate. But lawns, we have control over this. This modern landscaping of lawns, which does not give pollinators any place to eat, pollinate, rest, or procreate. So, like one small thing that we can do, right, is to plant a pollinator garden. So sorry, I got off into the weeds, or got off into my pollinator garden, but don't let excuses get in the way of the best version of yourself, because it's not just you, it's everyone else around you is looking for the best version of you. And so when you can be the best version of you, then you're leading by example. You're helping other people. So what is the purpose of a coach? I've had many coaches, many teachers. A coach holds the space for what's possible. I can hold you accountable, and I can hold your hand through the process. Why? Because I've been there and done that. So it's really not a cost for this program. It is an investment. The best investment you'll ever make is the investment in yourself. For 13 years, I had a sense that we needed to clean it up. The trajectory that we were on was just not sustainable, and it was heading to someplace disastrous. And when COVID hit last year, I knew it. I knew that was the disaster that I sensed coming. So that I believe is just the beginning of what the astrologers are calling the virus era. Okay, so why would you invest in yourself? Because without your health and your vitality, you can't do anything. When you lose your health and vitality, you're at the mercy of someone else to take care of you. And I'm not sure that we live in a world right now where you want that. So in my 12-week diet and detox program, it's a guided 12-week program with calls every week. There are 4 cooking videos. There's recipes to try. There's the weekly calls that you do from the comfort of your own home with weekly emails, reference materials, and then you end up with the complete manual so that you can repeat the program over and over again for the rest of your life. So this program incorporates everything that I have learned over the years. I don't hold anything back. I tell you where to get additional information. Truly, I just want to set more people free. The cooking videos, the recipes, and the demonstrations, you get all of those now on video. Of course, I used to teach here locally. I had a spa and I had a cooking school and I taught at a chiropractor's office. But since we're going to be doing this internationally now, this will all be recorded, but you will get those cooking videos and recipes, and you'll have my support. So the support is great. It's weekly calls. You can do them in the car if you have to and from work. We do them on Monday evenings. So our kickoff call is actually this coming Monday, which is Labor Day. I know it's Labor Day, but we're doing that at 7:00 at night. So everyone should be wrapping up their Labor Day festivities, and it's the perfect time to start because Labor Day is really a transition. It's not quite fall yet, but it is our transition into fall. It's the seasonal change. And why I love this program, there's 2 months out of the year that I get the best results, and that's March and August. This end of August, beginning of September one goes until Thanksgiving. So this program will run until the Monday following Thanksgiving. And when I have students go through this program, they tell me that they are more prepared for the holidays. You'll be in control of yourself by the holidays. You'll look amazing, you'll feel amazing, but there won't be the temptations of the past. You'll actually go into this holiday season with clarity and energy and vitality and all new recipes. And then you can surprise everyone at the holidays with all of the new things that you've learned how to do and make. So you really can't put a price tag on boundless energy, increased creativity, mental clarity. Like I cannot even put into words or put a price tag on me getting my health back. You saw my picture at 36 years old. I feel better at 50 than I did at 36. I wish I understood this when my kids were young, and I wish I would have had this much energy when they were young. But it was diet. It was diet and lifestyle. And I just can't believe how much it is still dismissed by the medical profession. So here's a few more testimonials. And these are, this was one of my young ones. So I get mostly, this out of the way, there we go. I get mostly middle-aged, but I will tell you some stories. So most of my students, I would say, like, are middle-aged, 40, 50 to 70, but I'll get the 20-year-old. So this was a 20-year-old, 20-something. And she said, all of my issues in life have been drastically improved since beginning the program. Truthfully, I knew that dedicating 12 weeks to nourishing my body and mind had the potential to make an extremely positive impact. It certainly didn't disappoint. All of my physical issues have been reduced. I've lost some weight and I feel more like a 20-something. I absolutely would and have recommended this program to family and friends. What a beautiful experience, and I'm grateful for it. And I really like how Lindsay put that, because it is an experience. This isn't a diet. It is an experience. It is an experiential process. We have been conditioned since we were young to look outside of ourselves for the next expert. So at a very young age, we had to go to doctor's appointments because the doctor knew best. And then we went to school and the teacher knew best, and our parents knew best. And then our high school counselor knew best, who really steered me wrong. And then it's our bosses that knew best, and now the government that knows best. And you can see me shaking my head because that's not true. None of that is true. Freedom Kitchen is about setting you free once and for all. So this is an experiential process. You have to experience, what does this feel like? What does this mean? What does this do to my body? What is my body saying? And so when you go through this experiential process, you come out of it at the other end. And I always say, you have to trust the process, because at the end of the 3 months, you'll have the awareness, you'll have epiphanies. I had one student who came up to me in our 3rd class, and she said, I get it now. I get it now. And I said, what do you get? And she goes, I don't know, but I get it. That's the type of feeling that you're going to have, is this epiphany, like, oh, now I know what my body feels like, because I've been stuck in my head trying to figure things out instead of tuning into my body to see what my body needs. Another one of my 20-somethings, young couple, and I don't even ask people why they come into my program. Everyone who has come into my program previously has just all been referrals, word of mouth. So And I don't turn anyone away, but I don't ask them why they're there. So young couple seemed, perfectly healthy and vibrant, young baby. And I got a call from the husband about 3 weeks in. And he said, I have to go to Myers and get some food. I'm taking it out on my wife. I'm hungry. You told me we wouldn't be hungry. And I said, did you start the Candida cleanse by chance? And he said, no. I said, okay, just start that and then call me in a couple days. And that changed his life. He did not know what his issues were. He's a creative, and he was having a lot of brain fog, lethargy, and his business is, he owns a business and needs to be creative. And it was Candida. And when he got rid of the Candida, and he did the whole program, he did amazing. And I mean, that everything started to turn around for him around week 4 or 5. So I always say you have to trust the whole process. But to this day, he and his wife send me people, and his sister is a personal trainer, and he has told his sister about me, and she has also done my program. Let's see, another example. Oh, so I had this example too. People say, well, what will the symptoms be during the testing phase? And I go, well, that all depends on your body. You may have headaches, back pain, joint pain, who knows, but just tune into your body. And as you're adding foods back, see how your body feels. So I had one student, again, she looked like the perfect picture of health, didn't need to lose any weight that I could tell, but she came into the program. And she kept asking me in month 1, can I just keep my skinny pop? And I said, no, we're going to get rid of grains right now because they're inflammatory, and you can add them back. You can add it back, as soon as we start month 3. But it's only 35 calories. And I said, well, remember what I said, the calorie model is out of date, and I don't care about the calories. I care about nutrients. So right now we're just focusing on getting your body nutrients and taking away the inflammatory things so that your body can heal, and then you can test it and add it back in month 3. And she just had a really hard time with that. And she just kept saying, but I need my skinny pop. And I said, okay, well, did you need this program, or do you need your skinny pop? I mean, just trust the process and you can add it back in a few weeks. But see, this is the food addictions that we have. It just brings to the forefront the amount of things that we're, seemingly addicted to, and we might not even realize it. So she got rid of the skinny pop. She did the whole process. She called me in month 3 and said, oh my God, now I know what the cause of my lower back pain was. It's the skinny pop. All of her back pain was gone when she got rid of the skinny pop, and it came back when she added the skinny pop back. So that's why there's no way that me or any other health coach can tell you what you can and can't eat, because your body's going to be different. So you need a process to take you through an experience so that you can find what works for you. Had someone come in and told her she could never eat skinny pop again, she would have been angry. There would have been resistance and resentment, but she discovered it for herself. Like the seamstress who discovered it was nightshades. She's like, I'm glad. If someone would have just come to me and said, you can never eat tomatoes and potatoes again, I probably would have been mad. But she had the realization. So see, what someone else tells you does not carry as much weight as what you determine on your own. And that's really how I structured this whole program. I won't say it was like that from 2008, 2009 on, but that's how it's evolved. So probably about the last 6 years or so, this has been far more of an experiential process. So these are just a couple more testimonials. So Anne Marie was on, I don't want to get it wrong, I think she was on 5 medications when she came to me. She heard me on a radio show and she contacted me, and she's a cancer survivor. And the hospital had her on bars and shakes and told her she had to basically live on that. And she was so unhappy. She was not satisfied at all. And so I met with her, and we started introducing nutrients, and we started removing things that were inflammatory. And she ended up doing my entire program more than once. She's one of those people, I think she just likes to be in that support group or in that community. So she'll do my program, I think, just to hang out with everyone and do it again. But it changed her entire life in 3 months. In 3 months, and she'll tell everybody that she was able to change her entire life. She got her quality of life back. She got rid of all but one medication. And I want to say she was on 5. And the last I checked, she was still on 1. I don't know exactly what for, but she was able to get rid of everything but one medication. She no longer lives on bars and shakes. She eats, she enjoys life. She feels amazing because she understands now what her body needs and wants. And no one at the hospital and she had a team because she had cancer. So she had an oncology team, she had a nutritionist, she had her GP and other doctors. And there was so much misinformation. What they were relaying to her was a lot of the propaganda that I work to dispel. So I do have a bonus. You probably heard me talk in the summit with Dr. Linda Lancaster. She is a homeopath, a naturopath, an acupuncturist, Ayurvedic physician, and energy medicine physician. She has been studying and teaching and helping people with parasites for more than 40 years. And previously, you always had to go to her practice in order to do a parasite cleanse. She now has a parasite cleanse kit. And I want to just take a minute to talk about this. So she is offering a 15% discount. So if you do decide to do this program right now, then I would recommend taking that discount and getting this parasite cleanse kit. So I know I'm probably going over here, but I want to share some insight. So I need everybody to think for a minute, because this is really what I teach. I teach critical thinking, and I help guide you as a guide and a coach. I guide you back to your body, to your intuition, so that you can think critically as well. So last year, we heard that hydroxychloroquine worked on COVID, and ivermectin, and artemisinin. Well, that one's been hidden, so we've never heard that in any mainstream information, but I study a lot of the holistic journals, and I'm in a lot of groups with holistic and functional medicine doctors. And okay, so artemisinin is over the counter. That is a source of wormwood. Ivermectin is available for animals, for horses, but if we want it for humans, we have to go to a doctor because they have it under lock and key. Same with hydroxychloroquine. Here's my question to all of you, if you're all still with me here after an hour. What do those 3 things have in common? And I might have said it in my interview with Dr. Linda Lancaster on the summit, but does anybody know what those 3 medications have in common? If so, you can put it in the chat. I got the chat open. Okay, I'll just give you one more second to guess. Those 3 medications are all anti-parasitic, and that is what's working on COVID. So here's my next question. Is COVID a virus or a parasite? Does anyone have any new thoughts on why we are seeing long haulers? Why are they saying that people who had COVID are having mystery illness or long-term symptoms? Why would we have long-term symptoms after a flu? So what is Lyme? Lyme is a parasite. Babesia, it's a parasite. Dr. Linda Lancaster talks about, yes, if it's parasitic, it becomes systemic. Yes. So to each and every one of you on this call, I say thank you for coming and thank you for attending the summit, because I really want to help more people. and we can only help more people if they clean up their body and they clean up their life. There is no sense in trying to drink a pink drink or a blue drink or the latest shake. It's not about that. We're at a point in our life when we have to remove all the chemicals once and for all. And it starts with the chemicals that we put in and on our body, because everything that you put in and on your body goes through you, comes out as waste and goes back into the earth and gets recycled. So we're now recycling all of these chemicals. So you're not just poisoning yourself, you're poisoning everyone else. I don't think any of us on this call would make dinner tonight, go out to the garage, get the Roundup and spray the dinner plate and then hand it to our family. But yet, when we buy things in a box mix and it's in there, is it okay because we don't see it? I mean, we have to become vigilant now about the number of chemicals, because those chemicals feed the parasites. The parasites live off the heavy metals. Well, where are the heavy metals coming from? The heavy metals are coming from our soil and other places. We'll just talk about soil right now because we are finding heavy metals in the soil, but we're getting heavy metals. Some people are opting to have additional heavy metals in their body. And then the parasites live off of the heavy metals. Then we're taking in things like glyphosate, which are antibiotic, and it's killing all of the good bacteria in our gut. The trajectory that we're on is not sustainable. We cannot keep doing this to ourselves, to our family, and to the earth. So that is why I have been teaching this program, not because I wanted to teach this program. As a matter of fact, I quit multiple times. I told God I quit. I'm a speaker and a teacher, and I really didn't want anything to do with nutrition, but we really can't get around nutrition if we're going to talk about detoxification. So, I have a couple other slides here, but really I just want you to feel from my heart that there are other programs out there. Please, anyone who resonated with you on this summit, I had them all put their links, their bio, their programs. If you felt connected to anyone on the summit, I want you to reach out to them. I put this together because I know that I'm not the right coach for everybody. So please reach out to whoever you resonate with. Share it with friends and family. That's why we have the access pass. We had the access pass because I was sure that you were going to hear something that you needed to share with that relative who has autoimmune issue, or, that your sister, or, your adult daughter or son, because they don't listen to us, they'll listen to someone else. So I always say, I'll be the other mom. So when your kids don't listen to you, have them listen to me. And hopefully I can count on all of these other coaches and teachers that I had on my summit for my kids to listen to, because they don't listen to me, they tune me out. I start to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. Oh, thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that. No, I know I can't quit. That's why I'm here. There are many other programs out there. Some cost far more than mine. Like I checked out Life Accelerator not that long ago, and he has a program that's 8 weeks, calls only, no cooking videos, no personal support, no Q&As. And the cost of his program is, significantly more than mine. So I've always felt that this is very much like a service. I'm offering myself in service to people because I did it. I've been through it. So I understand. And I understand the pitfalls, which is why my program is structured the way it is. And I'll get into that, if you end up joining me. So I do have that Parasite Cleanse available. I always say I'm not attached. If you decide to join me, I welcome you. I've been giving you a great big hug. Everyone on the Freedom Kitchen Summit, that was my way of giving a great big hug to the whole world. So I am sending you a great big hug, whether or not you work with me. I hope you find someone to work with. And I always say this, I've reached a point, I tried to convince people for years and years, you have to detoxify, and you have to get healthy. I just knew something was coming. But I don't try to convince anyone anymore. I will say this, My health is not dependent on your decision. I truly just want to liberate more people. So I do have my link here that I can paste. Let me see if I put everyone. So here's a link. And this goes to, my post-summit offer and this diet and detox program. Yeah, the other mom. Yeah, Ricky, right. The other mom. I tell all the parents in my kids program that I'm not judgmental, right? It's not a judgment that they're doing anything wrong. But I always send them videos too, to tell them what I'm teaching their kids so that we can be on the same page, so I can be the other mom and support them. So, all right. So procrastination keeps us stuck, and doing more research is really procrastination in disguise. And I know, because I've done this one so many times, I need to go research this a little bit more. Definitely, you need to go with your gut. If you were attracted to or felt any resonance with any of the speakers on the summit, go back to their page, get their link, and work with them. But we all work with coaches. I can't tell you how many coaches I've worked with, how many coaching programs I've been through. It's really what it takes for us to evolve. We are an evolutionary species. Don't stay stuck. You want to continue to evolve. And then I will be going over more of that parasite cleanse. So I want you all to leave with that thought, that if hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, and artemisinin were all working on COVID last year, then we need to question the narrative. We need to question what we're being told. So if we know that those 3 drugs are working and we can't get our hands on them because they're controlled by the medical companies, then how can we take matters into our own hands? That's the parasite cleanse I'm offering you. That's the detox program I'm offering you. We need to get them out. We need to keep a very clean environment so that they can't survive here. Does that make sense? So this or any other virus or parasite that comes our way, we want to make sure that we are maintaining the jurisdiction over our body and over this domain. Does that make sense? This is your freedom, you guys. This really is your freedom. Okay, so I put a link in the chat, and I will hang out for questions. I'm sorry I went over an hour. I get so passionate about this topic. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you. Thank you, Carl. All right, did it all make sense? Does anyone have questions? Do I need to go back to any of the slides? Let me go back to, I want to go back to this slide. So I just want everyone to see that I know what it takes. I'll tell you a funny story about this slide. My husband took that picture of me, and I had done a 3-month fitness challenge at the local gym. And so we had to take before and after pictures. And you're very welcome, Wendy. Thanks for being here. So the 3-month program, I'd take before and after pictures, and my picture hadn't changed. And I worked my butt off. Man, I was lifting weights and working out every day. But the personal trainer I was working with was telling me to eat yogurt and fruit and toast for breakfast. And I kept saying none of those things work for me. And I literally fell down, like not totally passed out, but fell to my knees, got lightheaded at the gym one day. And the reason for that was my blood sugar had spiked from eating the yogurt and fruit and toast in the morning. And then my blood sugar dropped while I was working out because I have very sensitive blood sugar. And so I knew I couldn't have high carbohydrates and fructose in the morning. But this personal trainer was adamant that that's what I needed. And so I had my husband, that's how I have that picture, because I needed to do a before and after for this 90-day fitness challenge, and nothing had improved. As a matter of fact, I think I was actually worse. I was stronger, but my health was worse off after working with him. Years later, when I pulled this picture out, my husband looked at that picture and he said, you never looked like that. And I said, yes, I did. You took the picture. And he said, I don't remember you looking like that. And he said, I never saw you like that. And I said, that's love. When he never saw me like that, but he took that picture, and that is how unhealthy I had gotten. Hi, Nikki. Thanks for joining us. No worries. We're wrapping up. So just sharing my story here of what got me onto this journey from when I was in corporate America. I had 25 years in IT. I was also a smoker and we ate out 7 days a week. So this truly, when I say that this is a judgment-free zone, I really mean that this is a judgment-free zone. I just talked to someone the other night, and she's trying to help her daughter. She asked me for help. Her daughter's a smoker, and the way she even said it to me, she goes, oh, she's a smoker. And I said, hey, I was a smoker for 25 years. Make sure that she's detoxifying and she's taking lots of vitamin C, which is an antioxidant, until she can get to a point where she can quit smoking. And my motto became never quit quitting, because I had to quit so many times until I could finally quit for good. So this is truly a judgment-free zone. And you probably heard my interview on the summit with Mike Collins from sugaraddiction.com. I'm still a sugar addict. I went from, I also was a Diet Coke addict and a coffee addict and had to get rid of those. But definitely went from nicotine addiction to sugar addiction. And like something shuts off in my brain and I can't stop eating sugar. And my husband will say, you just need willpower. And I'm like, it's not willpower. There's something, it's that leptin, that ghrelin, whatever. There's something that is not right. So I'm one of those people that if I have a little bit of sugar, I can't seem to stop. So I understand. And at this point, I've worked with over 4,000 people. So, I have a pretty good understanding of the different things that, you might experience. So that was, they actually put me on the front page of the health section of the Detroit News, which is a pretty big newspaper, at least it used to be. So it was 2007 or 8, where we were on the front page here. So I have been around the block. I have helped a lot of spas also put their programs into place. So I'm just going to leave this one here. Signs of toxic overload. This is where we're at. This doesn't help anybody when society is dealing with all of these food allergies, anxiety, depression, mood changes, belly bloat. This is road rage right here, you guys. This is toxic overload. So this is why we have to all detoxify. All right, so I'm just wrapping up. Does anyone have any other questions? I'm happy to hang out, or you can reach me on Facebook Messenger. Yes, Ricky, we are going to talk soon. So tomorrow I start my kids program for the fall. I have 26 kids. Oh, thank you, Nikki. I have 26 kids showing up to class tomorrow. So I'm preparing for cooking classes to start tomorrow. And then Monday, we start the detox program for the adults. So we start on Labor Day and it goes through the Monday after Thanksgiving. Hey, Carl, are you still on? What is the link for the access pass? Is that, I know we've got a link for the access pass. Thank you. Awesome. All right. And welcome. I see someone else just joined. So we're just wrapping up here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this presentation and we're going to email it out to everybody who was on the Freedom Kitchen Summit. And, you know, while I have a few of you still here, I will tell you, yes, Debbie, I will get you the recording. The recording will come out in the email, but I'm also recording it on my computer, so I'll get you that, Debbie. So where Freedom Kitchen is going is it's a movement, and the movement is we need to start one step at a time, all of us cleaning up our body and our life because we have an impact on the rest of the environment. So as I said, we start by putting our own oxygen mask on first. We need to clean out this space. Most of us are women, so we're the mom of the family, and so we're the ones who influence the family. I do have men that go through my program as well. I'll just say that women make the purchase decisions. So if you get on board with living a toxin-free life and detoxifying your household, the whole family benefits, and then the community benefits and the earth benefits. And the movement of Freedom Kitchen is there is no reason and no excuse anymore for all of these chemicals. But if we don't change consumer behavior, I can't go lobby against the chemical companies. It doesn't do any good. Because if everyone is still purchasing those chemicals, then they're still going to keep producing them. They will actually stop producing them if we stopped buying from them. So this movement has to start with conscious consumerism. We have to start with changing the consumer. So where the Freedom Kitchen events and summits will continue to evolve is our expectation is that you're going to evolve with us. So as you take these basic steps and you live a more toxin-free life and you start detoxifying and you're cleaning up traumas and you're healing, oh, I see that, Nikki. Yeah. Then where we need to go is, putting in the pollinator gardens. How do we clean up our neighborhoods? How do we clean up our communities? How do we give back to Mother Earth? We have to get there. There's Marjorie Wildcraft teaches a class called Growing Your Groceries. Okay, I'm not there yet. I'm not your teacher for that. I'll bring teachers like that to you as I continue to learn. That's the path and the journey that I'm on, is I had to clean up my life, my family, my space, my contribution to the earth. I've put in my pollinator garden. I've built my bee condos. I'm doing everything that I can to be a better inhabitant of this planet and of my neighbors. I don't poison my neighbors. That's where we have to start. And so this first Freedom Kitchen Summit brought all of these health and wellness experts to show you the correlation from food to your health and why we need to detoxify. And then where the next summits will continue to go and evolve is what is the next step we can take? What is the next step we can take? Because we're on this journey together and we have to change the trajectory. Hey, Kara, I'm going to have you work with Carl. I am not sure what's going on with the link right now. So, hey, Carl, I'm sending you Kara's comment. I'm not sure if the link is broken. And then, Kara, just make sure I have your email so that I can get you anything after this call. Okay, yeah, Ricky, we'll talk about that parasite cleanse. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, all right, thanks, Carl. I'm going to give you Kara's email as well so that you and I both have it. Okay. Ricky, I think I'm going to do a training for health coaches on the parasite cleanse, because I think every one of the health coaches that was on the summit needs to understand and have that awareness that that COVID is acting like a parasite, so that they're aware of the products that Dr. Linda has and the protocols that she has. Because again, if we can all clean up our body, why am I promoting, a couple of these things so much, like the parasite cleanse, like Natalia Rose's enlightener? She has an enlightener and Dr. Linda has a parasite cleanse. The reason that I'm so actively promoting these is because I want so desperately for people to clean up their body and their environment and the earth. So, because when one person cleans up their body and their environment, then they have a ripple effect to everyone else. So I was actually thinking today, I sent information over to another one of the health coaches that I was talking to about her daughter, and I shared all of the information about this parasite cleanse and realized that I probably could have a class just for the health coaches so that you guys all understand, because you're all working with people as well. So yes, we will talk about the parasite cleanse. Yes, we need to help more people. That was the point of the summit. Did you guys see how many times I cried this weekend? I don't think I got through a Facebook Live without crying. My heart really just overflows with love. And there's a little bit of sadness. The sadness is where we're at in the world. And it saddens me to watch anybody suffer. So we're doing our part. That's what the Freedom Kitchen Summit was all about. Okay, Debbie, I'll get you the recording. Kara, I have your email, and so does Carl. So we will make sure that you get the information. If anyone else wants to join this detox program, it starts Monday evening, September 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And that will be a weekly Monday evening call for 12 weeks that will take us all the way through Thanksgiving, actually the week after. So you've got my support all the way through the end of November. And within the next few weeks, I will actually get a class pulled together for all the health coaches out there to learn more about the parasite cleanse. Each call is typically about an hour, sometimes a little shorter. In the beginning, they're definitely, when we start the 3-month program, the calls in month 1 and month 2 are always the longest because there's so much information to learn. And that's typically when we see most of the questions. By month 3, they're pretty short calls unless people have questions. That's when we're doing the reintroduction phase. So everyone is sort of on their own pace of testing their own foods. So we do get together still every week. We still have the support and the structure, but I will say that those calls become shorter. Yes, Ricky, we can talk. We can talk today. As a matter of fact, I'm headed out to the kitchen where I teach my kids' classes. So I'm going to be in the car for 45 minutes. So I can call you when I get in the car, if that works for you. Good. I'm so glad, Kara. It really is what God keeps telling me to do. So I really am here to serve. And the only reason I keep teaching this is because the people that go through my program and they say that it set them free or it saved their life, it's kind of hard not to teach it when it's so helpful. So truly, with all my heart, you guys will get to know me more and more, that everything I'm doing in the second half of life is truly, if I just wanted a paycheck, I would have stayed in corporate America. I got a really good paycheck there. This is truly from my heart. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up so that I can head out to the kitchen and get ready for my classes tomorrow. But you guys can message me. Oh, someone else is joining. All right, welcome. Connecting to audio. All right, welcome, Carolyn. I see you just joined and we were just wrapping up. So this presentation will be sent out in email, and I can also put the link. I recorded this on Facebook, and I can put the link in the Freedom Kitchen Summit group. So you can watch for this either in email or on Facebook, or you can Facebook message me in Messenger and I can send you the link for it. Yeah, Debbie, we'll figure that out. I'll message you after. Debbie, I love your picture, by the way. So good to see you. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Anyone else that has questions, please reach out to me. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope that everyone has enjoyed the Freedom Kitchen Summit and what all of those amazing speakers and teachers brought to all of us. With love, I'm going to stop my sharing. Oh, thank you. It was awesome, wasn't it? You know, Debbie, 6 years that's been in my mind to do that summit. So truly a blessing.